Hey there, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over the review of World of Warcraft Dragonflight. It's been about a week. This is my weekly update of my grind and my experience on World of Warcraft so far. I have some pros, I have some cons, and just some overall things we can talk about. So first of all, dragon riding. Dragon riding is dope. It is probably the best thing, in this expansion. It is really fun. You can do a lot of cool stunts with all the vigor and stuff like that, but you don't really unlock it until you get all of it done. And I'll show the points of where the glyphs are and everything like that. I know there's been some complaints about it because people being motion sickness and stuff like that, and just being able not to constantly be maneuvering and stuff, especially in the opening zone, Waking Shores, when you don't have a lot of vigor to really boost yourself into the air. It can be kind of a pain once you get a feel for it. But once you get a feel for it and you get all the buffs, you're juicing the whole way through, and it's great. Um, but other than that, the customizations, I don't know about everyone else, but there's a lot of customizations, but I really wanted my own Rathion, like Black Dragonflight aspect dragon. I don't know why we only got four. Where's the fifth, Blizzard? Come on, bring the fifth. But needless to say, next step, another great change that they did was with professions. They look great, they feel good. The only problem is that I feel that it's a little convoluted sometimes, especially when the levels keep going on and change different stats or stuff for it, and it's kind of hard to see unless you look at a guide. It's actually hard to see how you're supposed to optimize it and everything like that. But other than that, it was a great change because before, like in Shadowlands, we just grinded out our legendaries, the one that we wanted, and then to me, that's all I did in professions. I made gold other ways, but yeah. So professions, they're looking great. They're feeling good. The whole idea behind the whole spark of ingenuity. If you guys don't know what this is, it's on the screen now, and that is a epic piece of crafting material you'll get. You get one per 2 weeks, so we got one from the end of the storyline now, and then we'll get one when the raids and the dungeons release. Do not use these willy nilly. Make sure you're using them to progression for your mythic piece of gear later on. If you use them now, then there's some weird thing that you have to only craft from that slot and something weird. So just don't worry about it until the raids come out, and then you can start seeing the big juiced items. Um, Professions though, I come from playing Final Fantasy before. I just wish they were all on one tune. I have all of the professions and they're pretty leveled, as you can see with the things, but going back and forth through all of them all the time, it's kind of getting kind of ridiculous. But it is a very good system and I enjoy it. That's just my subjective opinion on jumping back and forth. Wish you could do them all on one. Other than that, class trees have been making some crazy builds and stuff. I know Demon Hunter with the Hunt and the Necrolord Covenant ability is really fun. Also, you have Brewmasters that have a billion CDs, and if you guys didn't know, I didn't specify this at the start of the review, but I play tank. I leveled all 6 tanks so far, so Warrior feels great. I wish they had Bladestorm instead of Ravage, just because I would like to feel Bladestorm like back in the mop when we ran it. It was great. But other than that, class trees, they all look good, and they feel good. I feel the only one that I feel that kind of lacks is right now is DK tank, blood tank. They just don't have that many buttons. You're running your same Bone Storm stuff, but needless to say. And then I have my last pro, the grind. The grind is actually not bad this time. We'll get into it in some of the cons I have about it because of the Blizzard changing things, but for the most part, gear is straight, simple. Hey, do your mythic zeros, do your professions, and then fill in with world quest. You want to do professions and mythic zeros, I believe, first, because it'll end up boosting your total item level, and then you can start getting the big juiced items after you get professions and MZOs done. But yeah, so, and I feel the grinds are pretty good, and like I said, we'll talk about a little bit more here in a second, because I feel, and you know what, we'll just get right into it. the big con I feel that I have, and I love Blizzard, I love this game, but it really feels like this time we're actually playing a beta. You have things like mining nodes that are behind rocks that are not the rocks where you can knock down and you can get to them. They're literally in the wall, and you can still mine them, but you have to find them. And also, you also have mining nodes in waterfalls where, if I was a demon hunter on my gatherer, I couldn't jump up or get into, especially with dragon flying, because you're going in with motions. It's nutty. It's so I feel things like that, and all the changes to the systems they've been having. They've been changing XP from professions where they capped you out for, it's either 700 or 750k, when originally they're like, oh, you could level and only do professions and hit cap. But because people are people and they exploit things sometimes, they seem to put a cap on that real quick. Same thing with similar bugs we've been having with like the Accord. They had to disable it because it was coming up multiple times. I know on one of my tunes, I even said my guildies, I'm like, hey, did you guys get a second one? Because I think my DH got a second one. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that just must have been a thing. But again, it was just a thing that could have been exploited, and I didn't do it personally besides the second time I did it, but still, I know there's people that did a lot and they're probably all capped out on their renown and everything now. But other changes too, they started changing up some of the farms we were doing, part of the grind, which was a good grind, but for some reason they were like, oh no, we don't want you having this right now. Granted, I know they balance a lot of things through raids and for the raids, not necessarily the top percent like a lot of people think. It's more so that they want the raids still to be difficult and you at a projected item level that they saw fit, which feels really bad for us. But I understand the idea, but it sucks that have-nots are getting really kind of screwed out of that, rather than the people that got away with it are able to have 385 gear like now. But needless to say, it all doesn't matter because once M0 comes out or M pluses come out, then that gear is irrelevant. Same with the race. And then one thing I have here is another con I have is, it seems after tonight, because I did some M pluses or M0s before I did this video, with a 5-stack they were really easy. And then I've done a couple pugs on the Hall of Effusion, and that third boss, the ice boss where she shoots the things, that boss is not intuitive at all, apparently, because people do not know how to do that fight. But for the first week, it felt they were kind of easy. I know we're not Mythic Plus, but I remember doing Mythic Zeros, the start of Shadowlands, and some of them gave us trouble. Not a lot of them, but they definitely gave us trouble. But needless to say. And then the one thing, the last thing I'll say is, it's hard to know what to do next, because say the one I use as an example is the centaurs. So you have your two clans markers, right? One's telling you the Maraku or whatever it's called, and then the Lang clan, which is where the dailies are. All I would like to see change with that, if they did any kind of changes, is put like a 1 out of 4, because it's usually 4 dailies that are there. 1 out of 4 done or 0 out of 4 done, so you know by just looking on the marker on the map if you did or not. Because sometimes you just forget. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, did I do that this half week? If that's what they're gonna do every bi-weekly. So just small things like that. It's hard to tell of what you have done and have not done. Some things like the horns, it's obvious because you're not getting an epic bag, so that obviously you did it at least once. But with something like the dailies for the Centaur clan in the plains, it's kind of hard to tell if you need to do that. Or same with the cooking community thing down in where the Tuskar are. There's a lot of stuff going on there, and it's just really hard to see down there sometimes. But just some more obvious markers would be nice. But over and all, it's not that big of a deal. It's just one of those subjective things. I wish they would do it. You know what I mean? But other than that, guys, I think Dragonflight so far, yes, we haven't seen any raids, and I know I'm a heroic raider, not a mythic raider, but I still follow the world first to see how cool it is, see if there's anything sweet in mythic. But heroic wise, it's looking good. Hopefully it'll stay good. I think Dragonflight is probably gonna be top 3 for me. Top 1 is probably Legion or Wrath, and whichever is not top 1, it's second. And then I think Dragonflight's coming in third. I like TBC and stuff like that, but for the modern age, I think Dragonflight's ranking about third right now. But yeah, guys. So that was my review. Some pros and cons and some just subjective stuff I had to say about it. But so far, it's fun. I'm enjoying it. All the tanks feel good. I even DPS Frost a little bit and just breathed on everyone. It was good times. But we'll see how the raid comes, and then I'll have the update to see how that goes as well. I will be probably making one of these videos weekly. I'll give more updates of what my tunes actually look like. I got them all leveled up this week and got 3 of them all mythics done. But next week I'll give you guys an update where all my gear stands for all my tunes, and just give you a general update of any other changes, major changes of grinds or professions or whatever the case. But I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, leave a big thumbs up. It helps out a ton. If you want notification of my daily upload of my lore videos or my next weekly video of this one, hit this red subscribe button down below. And then also, if there's any questions you have, any lore questions, any changes that you don't know about or that I brought up that you're like, hey, what's this? Leave them a comment down below and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Okay, guys, and if you're watching this video as it's released, I'm probably streaming on Twitch. So it's in the link description down below. Thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.